Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us for the 8th episode of Satellite Gaming Satellcast. I've got a full crew with us tonight. First, I got Matthew.
Howdy.
Kale.
Hello.
I'm surprised you're still in here. I have Michael.
I'm back.
After a 2-week hiatus. We've got an interesting agenda, I think. First, we're going to start with our opinions on exclusive titles. What do we think of exclusives in general per system and PC? Are they good or bad, for the entire industry? And if you could remove one exclusive and just kind of make it for every system, what would it be? Following that, we have a quick discussion, well, I think it'll be quick, on free-to-play. Is it the way of the future? Will there be maybe a AAA free-to-play game? I'm not sure. And then we're going to wrap it up with what if the 720 PS4 and the Wii U were the last consoles ever? So let's go ahead and start this off with the exclusive titles. Now, Matthew, you're the one that brought this topic up. You've been wanting to do this for several weeks, and I keep putting it off. So here you go. Here is your chance. Exclusive titles. You have the floor.
Exclusive titles. Good or bad? I would say they're mostly a good thing. They drive competition and creativity between each developer, in a sense. So, do you guys agree with me on that?
I do. I don't see why.
Kinda.
Yeah.
I'll explain why.
Okay. Well, I mean, once we see these creativity things, I don't know, in a sense, when we get to, exclusive, I like to think of ideas as exclusive, too. So we see a lot of Sony ripping from Nintendo in this sense, and Smash Brothers. So if you can't tell, I'm still very bitter about this. But I mean, exclusive in the sense that these main characters aren't crossing over into other genres. So that brings up an interesting question. Is Metal Gear an exclusive to Sony?
No.
It used to be.
It used to be. Okay.
But,
Well,
it was used to be exclusive to
it
Nintendo.
used to be Nintendo.
Right.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I mean, it used to be. I
Same thing
mean,
with Final
let's
Fantasy.
be honest here. Well, when Metal Gear got big, it was a Sony. It was on the PlayStation. Metal Gear Solid. Let's just go ahead and knock all that NES crap out right now. When Metal Gear got big and mainstream, and all you fanboys feel free to bash me, but let's get this straight here. Metal Gear did not get big and mainstream until Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation. So it's always going to be synonymous with Sony. Sorry. It's just how it is.
Same thing with Final Fantasy.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a little less clear-cut because of Final Fantasy, I think 6 and 4 had such success on maybe the NES, Super NES.
No. I mean, it was it was on Nintendo first, but I mean, it really hit mainstream when it hit PlayStation.
As a Sony.
It was big on the Nintendo, but not as big as it got on PlayStation.
You're absolutely right. It wasn't mainstream. I mean, let's be honest. Final Fantasy VII was what made the Eastern RPG for the Western world.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, I completely agree with you. So what I'm wondering is, all right, I guess what is your one exclusive, Matt, that you would kind of
There's a couple.
and make?
I would like to see a lot of the Nintendo ones cross over into the Xbox and Sony area because, well, you gotta think of it. You're taking the best of both worlds at that point. You're taking an extremely creative franchises, and migrating them over to I don't want to say more talented, but they're definitely prettier, and the hardware is just so much better on the Xbox that I couldn't imagine what something like Metroid Prime would look like if we had the power of the 360 behind it. If we had,
what are the dedication?
I guess. I mean, I'm not saying that Nintendo's done a bad job because by all means Metroid Prime is amazing.
Prime was a great game.
I mean, you saw Prime 2 and how they attempted multiplayer at that. I think if some dedicated studio, I don't want to say maybe Epic would be a good one.
That's exactly who I was thinking.
You could see Metroid on the Unreal Engine in a multiplayer. That would be phenomenal.
Take Metroid, put it on the Xbox, but use the Crytek 3 engine.
The Crytek 3.
Ooh, well, yeah, but
imagine how pretty that would make Metroid look. Make it the Prime series.
With that crappy controller. I mean, let's get this out of the way right now. The GameCube its controller really wasn't all that important. I'm not a big fan of Nintendo's controllers at all. Anyway, the 64 controller was a disaster.
Oh yeah, that one was
controller.
The GameCube one wasn't too bad. I felt it had a lot of similarities with the current Xbox One. It's just that there's another Z button on the other side.
Yeah, I agree. So, Michael, what do you think about all this? Maybe, I mean, you're obviously a Nintendo fan, so what do you think about your beloved Metroid coming to Microsoft's baby?
I wouldn't mind it. I'd love to see more creativity done with it.
And nice to kind of see everything stretched out and actually fleshed out, you know?
Yeah, because Other M didn't do so well.
Yeah, that's what happens when Team Ninja gets a hold of it. It was
actually,
DOA.
Team Ninja only did the combat. Nintendo actually published the story and stuff.
Yeah, well, did you play the combat for Ninja Gaiden 3? Exactly.
That was me.
I didn't even play Ninja Gaiden 3.
Oh, you're lucky.
You're lucky. Yeah. You're a very lucky soul. I did not venture into that.
Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2 were like some
Ninja Gaiden 1. Oh my.
And then 3 came around and killed it.
Yeah, we're getting okay. All right, we're getting a little off track with what we hate. Anyway, Kale, well, what do you think? What is one of what do you think about exclusives? Same kind of. Are we all kind of in agreement? Well, I guess let's get this out of the way. We're all pretty much in agreement that we agree that exclusives are good.
I did say that I would elaborate that I kind of agreed with Matt. Like, they're good, but then again, they're bad. Like, Sony fanboys, like, when you take Sony fanboys against Microsoft fanboys, Sony's first argument is, we have so many more exclusives than you got. Okay, but how many of those are actually good? You can't just, unless you're Nintendo, you can't just flood your market with exclusives. The only thing Nintendo's got going on is that this isn't just exclusives that they made within a 5-year period. I mean, these are games that they've been making for the last 25 years.
Yeah, decade plus.
Sony started off with good games like Ratchet and Clank and Jak and Daxter.
Crash Bandicoot.
Now
Spyro.
Crash Bandicoot. Yeah, Crash Bandicoot and Spyro were huge Sony exclusives. Now it's just every game they come out with, they get worse and worse and worse.
Like Mario Party.
Yeah, I mean...
How the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, but Sony's got all these different exclusives, but they just keep flooding them, and then the more they come out with, the worse they get. Like, should I say Killzone 3? I mean, look how bad that was. And the game...
It flopped.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. It's like Microsoft has Halo, Gears of War, and Forza. And each one of those, every time one of those games comes out, they just do phenomenally. Obviously, Forza doesn't do as well as the other ones because it's
different genre.
It's a racing, it's not a shoot.
You're not out to break sales records.
It's not as mainstream, but
it does. But still, for a racer, it does really good compared to Gran Turismo, which just
flops.
Bad. I mean,
it used to be really good though.
Delay. It used to be.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what happens when you delay after delay. Your game deserves to flop. I'm sorry. Don't delay it 15 times. Half-Life. I mean,
Duke Nukem.
Gran Turismo, Duke Nukem. Stop. It's just not worth it.
I see. That's why I like the Xbox. It's as far as they don't have very many. Oh, I forgot Fable too.
How Fable has fallen though.
No, the Journey. Oh my God, don't even get me started. But the three that I said, I think I might be missing one or two, but.
No, I mean it's okay. Your point is
they've only got a few, but they take care of them for the most part.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like
except for Gears now.
Judgment.
That's a matter of opinion.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get into that some other time. But
I think Kale and I are pretty sore about that.
Oh really?
Damn. I'm sore about Gears only because you guys know how much I hate franchises and yearly games. It's like how many years was there between Gears 1, 2, and 3, and then.
Well, just to go off topic.
Yeah.
I want to say that I think I told Curtis this earlier today is that Epic made a very smart business move, but it was really a cheap move on the fan base. Was that I had been clamoring for Baird DLC for the longest time, and I really thought that would be the last content in season pass. And I thought it'd be a Beast mode expansion, but it looks like they're doing that in a completely different game, which it feels like it should be DLC instead of its standalone.
They had Halo. It went all Halo ODST on us.
Yeah, in a sense.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like here's all this all this content that everybody wanted in DLC, but let's package it as a full game shortly after a year after the third one came out, and then just charge $60 for it.
Except I think ODST was different enough that you couldn't I mean, they altered the play style in a sense, and they introduced some new stuff. Whereas I don't see a lot of new stuff coming into.
That's a different argument.
Well, I mean,
because I'm not going to agree with
the
that.
engineers.
But that was in the canon. Like, I wouldn't say they altered the play style. They just inserted from the canon.
Your character, he doesn't act like a Spartan.
And I understand that, but at the same time, all they did was just slow you down.
Then they altered the grenade throws and stuff.
And after playing Halo 2 and you do that, it makes me feel like Halo 1. So it's not really different to me. Like, that's the argument with that.
Yeah,
so,
and
I didn't play a lot of Halo 1, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, ODST started as DLC. Gears Judgment didn't.
Yep. Okay, that's a good point. I actually forgot that would have actually started as an expansion. All right. So, KO, if you had one exclusive to make completely, multi-platform, what would it be?
Mario, for sure.
Okay. I'm not a big fan of that, but
I say Mario because, I mean, God, without Mario, Nintendo still wouldn't be around. I guarantee Nintendo would have gone the way of Sega if it wasn't for Mario.
Maybe.
When I worked at GameStop, I'd have 100 retarded people come in a day. Do you guys got Mario for the Xbox? No. You guys got Mario for the PlayStation? Still no. I mean, if you
thought I had you.
I mean, if you put Mario on all these different consoles, it would make so much money.
I don't know.
I think there'd be a lot of pissed off people.
Well,
but you wouldn't buy it.
A lot of pissed off Nintendo fanboys, but like everybody else would be like, praise all that is holy.
It depends on who makes it. If Nintendo makes it for the other, like the Xbox, is that what you're saying, or you want like a third party on this?
Yeah.
No.
Let's say hypothetically Nintendo goes the way of Sega and puts puts Mario and Zelda on the Xbox or the PlayStation.
Okay.
I actually forgot about Zelda. All right.
Yeah, but the thing is, Zelda. I would love to see Zelda on a next gen console. I mean, and you'd be an idiot if you'd say that wouldn't do good on on any other console. But the thing is that Zelda games are so far and in between.
Yeah, we really don't get a whole chunk of. I felt like for a little bit back in mid 2000s, I think it was. Maybe we got a few right in a row, but that might just be because those two came out at the same time for one of the systems. I'm not exactly sure.
For some reason, it's like the handheld market is flooded with Zelda games, but as far as consoles go, we get 2 a generation.
Yeah, if that.
All right. The Wii cheaped out on us because they did the Wind Waker on the Cube, and then they did Twilight Princess both on the Cube and the Wii.
Yep.
Overlap.
Okay.
Cheaters.
So we'll go ahead and I agree. Let's go ahead and jump to Michael here. Michael, now I think, like you said, we're all in agreement pretty much on the exclusives. I mean, very varied opinions. We're kind of like, this might be good to have them all.
I think it's safe to say that we agree that Nintendo needs to put their games on other consoles.
Okay. So I guess, Michael, what do you think to that? You're a big Nintendo person, and honestly, you're kind of in a room with three, maybe I wouldn't say 360 fanboys, but I prefer the 360 as my system of choice, mainly because I think it's better, but I guess that's a matter of opinion. Now, what do you think about it coming from, I guess, a Nintendo standpoint? Like, if you could take, the Master Chief and throw him, God forbid, on the Wii U, I mean, would you? Or are you more leaning towards our way and throwing maybe Zelda or Mario over onto the 360, or PS3 for that matter?
I'd probably go your guys' way. I don't really see any problems with it.
Hey,
so,
can
I change my answer? That you get with it.
Can I change my answer?
Yes.
World of Warcraft, put it on consoles.
Thank you.
I don't even know why I didn't think about that. Just
Pandas.
Put out like a $25, $30 like USB keyboard expansion and a mouse.
Well, can't you, if it's a USB keyboard, can't you just plug it right into the system?
Not with Microsoft.
Yeah,
that's right.
It'd have to be Microsoft licensed.
Well, there's a couple like that, but
right there.
I'm using one right now, so.
Well, there you go.
Just package World of Warcraft with a keyboard and mouse and sell that shit for $60.
I'm buying.
I'd buy it.
Be
able to play that on my TV, sitting on my couch. That'd be awesome.
I would. Okay, well, I guess I'll give you my 2 cents on it. I agree completely. Exclusives are good. I would, if I had to choose, I would actually take. I'm gonna kind of double. Well, you guys easily covered Nintendo, but I'm gonna say Uncharted would be awesome to play. I mean, I prefer the 360 controller. That's probably a big part of it.
Yeah.
Uncharted. would be so much fun on the 360, and its multiplayer I think would be so much more adept on Xbox Live.
But
with the party system.
Xbox already has Gears of War. We don't need Uncharted.
Yeah, but Uncharted and Gears of War are completely different stories.
Yeah,
I think it's
different
different
stories.
atmosphere too.
Oh yeah. I mean, different atmosphere, different stories, but gameplay is especially multiplayer.
You could say because it's very third-person cover.
Yeah.
I will agree with you on the whole. I would love to see World of Warcraft or StarCraft kind of ported around. Just thrown on the console.
Yeah, Matt, what do you think about StarCraft, Matt?
If StarCraft went onto the PC or off of PC, I don't know if it would. It wouldn't have as big of a cult following because StarCraft's one of those things that PC gamers love. But I wouldn't mind having like a campaign thing, maybe multiplayer. I mean, Halo Wars tried to utilize the controller as best they could, and
I think they
did well. I think there's some things that can be improved upon, or maybe I just need to familiarize myself, like really drill into my head when I play.
But then again, I mean, that was like an RTS's first foray onto a console like this.
A first successful foray, absolutely.
And I think that if a game like StarCraft would come out of the console, I think Ensemble would be the perfect studio to do it.
Why not? Absolutely.
Well, I mean, I'm not against it.
Just like here. Now, it's interesting. We're going to kind of get off topic but stay on topic. I sent this article to Matt.
Oh, yeah.
How Bungie and Ensemble were kind of at odds because apparently Microsoft decided at the last minute to throw on the Halo paint, I should say, to Halo Wars, to make it Halo Wars, because they didn't think it was going to sell. They didn't think a Ensemble RTS was going to sell on the console without throwing the Halo name on top of it. Now, and Bungie they were not big fans of this, and I understand that. But at the same time, I mean, do either of you guys kind of blame Microsoft? What are you thinking with that?
I think
if you're Microsoft, yeah.
I think it's Microsoft's fault that Bungie doesn't want to make Halo anymore. I mean, they milked Bungie and just like squeezed them for all their worth and like forced Bungie to take their baby and just do things that they didn't want to do to it.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I would agree.
Bungie
with that. Why
just
not?
got so pissed off about it that they said, "Okay, we're done." They were tired of it. They're tired of Microsoft. They're tired of dealing with it. I mean,
They don't want to crash their They don't want to crash their child, right? And they know that they don't have control over it anymore. So at least they're not going to be responsible for burying their franchise.
Exactly. But even when they were in control of it, with Halo Wars and everything, they, like you said, they were pissed off about it. They didn't want anything to do with it, but they didn't have a choice. But
right.
No, I do blame Microsoft.
Okay.
I think I am actually on the side of Bungie with this. I mean, that kind of just shows the evil side of Microsoft a little bit.
Very the more industrialized part of our gaming.
The reason why when people spell Microsoft on the computer, they put the $sign instead of the S. I mean, that's
right. No, that's a good point. It's kind of unfortunate, to be honest with you. I was really wishing that would not be the case. I don't know. I kind of hope that everything would be a nice, peaceful thing. But I guess when you sit and think about it, if someone's taking your child, and your baby, and they're warping it into what they want, it kind of takes away from what you want, I guess we'll go ahead and
I want to add in. I know you guys feel bad for Bungie, but I don't really have a lot of feelings for them. They sold themselves to Microsoft. This happens when you do that. So they put themselves in that position.
That's a good point. But at the same time, I mean,
Microsoft didn't have to be a dick about it.
There's no honor among thieves, but there should be honor among the fact that if it was not for Bungie, Microsoft wouldn't even be in existence. Where is the loyalty? Where is them saying, you know what, this is the one time that we need to step back and kind of, I get it, it's all about the dollar sign.
I mean, right? They didn't just make money, they made tons of money.
Oh yeah.
So
absolutely.
I think there's the loyalty in that, and I think Bungie I don't know if they regret it, but I dare say I think they would still sell themselves and Halo to Microsoft again and again and again. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Basically, like I said, on the console front, I would like to see you guys all, we pointed out one PS3 title. Kale pointed out the big PC one. I think that about covers that, to be honest with you.
Oh.
So,
hey,
okay.
Little asterisk though, like side thing. What do you guys think about how World of Warcraft went, like with the whole Mr. Pandaria thing? Like, cause it just
they're out of
ideas. It flopped bad. I mean, I remember Cataclysm. It wasn't as big as Lich King, but I mean, Cata was big. Pandaria was just nothing.
Yeah, what I think the big difficulty when it comes to World of Warcraft right now is, how old is it? 10 years?
Yeah, it's definitely, the age is working against it right now.
It's just showing its age, so I think that's the issue with that.
I mean, they could have released a phenomenal, I don't know if Lich King was like the greatest DLC for them, but
Lich King was so good.
well, there you go.
I mean, okay, it depends on who you talk to. If you inevitably talk, God, you'll hear it after Burning Crusade came out, but they were like, oh my god, PvP. Oh my god, PvE. It's like, they're gonna whine anyway, so their opinions really don't matter to me. And I'm sorry if any World of Warcraft fans that are listening to me are just gonna probably flame whatever they can, but like, seriously, just sit there and think about it. Anytime an expansion comes out and a change is made, people are going to flip.
It's like when Facebook changes their layout. Everyone bitches for about a week or two, and then they all just shut up and take it.
Yep. They're like, all right, whatever. All right. So moving on, we kind of wrap that up now. Let's go ahead and jump to the topic that I had brought up. I've been playing a little bit of Ghost Recon Online, and if anybody knows anything about that is a free-to-play title from Ubisoft, and I've heard an absolute ton of things about free-to-play, and a lot of developers are saying this is the way of the future, that AAA games are going away, that they won't be around for much longer, and that this is what we're going to have. And, of course, if you have a PC, I can totally see this. That's absolutely fine. But a AAA free-to-play game on the consoles, could that be done? I think so. Why not? If anybody's played Ghost Recon Online, it plays exactly like, I believe Future Soldier is the one that just came out. It plays exactly like it. I mean, I'm using a mouse instead of a controller. I could use a controller if I wanted to, but anyway. The fact is that it plays very similarly. It's not difficult. It's exactly what it should be. Now, what do you guys think? Michael, what do you think about free-to-play in general? Bad, good? Is it even good for the industry?
Well, I'm not too sure about the industry because they're not necessarily making money from sending the game out. They have to send out exclusive things with the game in order to actually make money.
Absolutely. Now, when it comes to the microtransactions, I guess, are we okay with those?
Not
really.
No.
Okay, now, here is the thing. I'm okay with microtransactions under one condition. It does not make you super OP.
Like Angry Birds, what's that? The Mighty Eagle?
I mean, as long as, like, if you're not buying stronger bullets, I'm really not too worried about it. Because you've seen people in COD run around with iron sights and a garbage gun, a heavy MG, and just
M16.
start owning kit. Yeah, I mean, there's a certain amount of skill that comes with it, so as long as it's not making you too OP, I really don't mind. Now, Kale, obviously you're more console, and you haven't really had a whole lot of free-to-play. What do you think about a free-to-play shooter, hypothetically? A AAA free-to-play shooter. What about a free-to-play Halo coming to, your consoles with maybe 2 maps, and let's say you had to pay more to play? Like, what do you think about this kind of idea?
I don't like that. I don't like it because if a free-to-play game comes out, like a game like Halo or something, I'm gonna pay for the full price anyway. So why not just put the whole thing out there and just let me buy the whole package and not have to worry about, don't nickel and dime me away and keep charging me. I mean, just let me buy the game and play it. I just pay you one time. I don't need a credit card. I can pay cash. Here you go. Just give me the game. I'm going to play it. And I don't understand why people think that this is the way of the future. I mean, I don't think you can have a big AAA title because you're not going to want to invest the money on it because it's free to play. You can't guarantee that all these people are going to buy it. I mean, especially like somebody might buy like one thing and just be like, okay, well, I'm content with this, instead of buying the whole package for $60. Even though they might not want everything, you still got to buy it. That's guaranteed $60. You know what I mean? It's like they're not going to take the time to put all the money in if you can't ever be sure that it's going to be good. So I don't like that idea.
Okay. No, I mean, and that's perfectly fine. Matt, what do you think about a free-to-play?
I'm in a bit of agreement with Kale on this one.
Oh my god.
I don't like, well, when you don't like something, I'm bound to agree on it. So, my biggest thing is I don't like having my credit card information going out everywhere. I like the cash. That's probably the reason I still go to the store and buy Microsoft points instead of putting my debit on my account and just charging directly to that. The I get why they think it's going to be the way of the future, and I don't see why they're so eager to go with it. As Kale said, it makes little to no sense to have people want to buy or to buy nothing. And,
Right.
They'll have the game, maybe they'll buy one thing. Well, people are going to love that. It's going to get their game out there. And then what? I think that you have to buy the whole game to make your profits. That's why I don't see these. I mean, you guys see what I'm getting at here? It's all or nothing.
No,
There is a market for it though. They're called
there is a market.
gamers.
Obviously, there's a market. RuneScape. Hello.
League of Legends. Anybody?
Yup. So, I mean, I just installed League of Legends today, so.
But for
Really?
the most part, though, it's more like casual gamers, like mobile gamers or Farmville players.
Here's the thing that I want to say though, is that you're free to plays, you get what you pay for. RuneScape versus World of Warcraft.
Absolutely.
I think there's actually 3 tiers here, and I will go say Guild Wars 2. The one buy, the completely free to pay, and there's the monthly subscription.
Well, the buy and monthly.
Oh yeah, the buy and. But I mean, you get what you pay for with those, and I mean, there's a reason why World of Warcraft is the biggest, most successful MMORPG of all time, is that the Blizzard makes sure that the people are getting what they pay for when they do their monthly subscription. Whereas, I mean, Guild Wars, that's good. You buy the game and they support for free, and I think that's what's given World of Warcraft the biggest run for its money. Is that they try their hardest still. I don't know how they make money some of the times, but I mean, they've recently incorporated microtransactions. I know they did a lot more in Guild Wars 2. The one last thing I want to say is StarCraft 2 has a starter pack type, not pack, I want to say they have a starter game where you get like a couple of maps that change every month, and you only can play as Terran. If for anybody else that's played StarCraft 2, how does that sound to you? To know that, you could add more in?
Dude, I only ever play as Terran anyway.
Exactly.
I'm good.
That's exactly. So from Blizzard's standpoint, you're a customer that, they're losing out on.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to leave it at for now. Biggest thing, credit card information. I don't like giving it away.
Now, I can't remember. Kale brought up a point, something about, and it kind of, I had maybe getting what you guys pay for. If the way I've been looking at free-to-play games is, it's like I get in the mood where I want something new, and lately, mainly now, I don't have the money to just randomly run off and buy a new game now. So it's all been, I'll just look for a free-to-play title, and Ghost Recon seems to be the one that has me at the moment. Not that I've played it lately, but the fact is I can just go out and download a free-to-play because it's absolutely free. There's no issue. I don't have to buy anything, and I can play with people with in-game chat right then and there. Now, that plays super smooth, and it looks mighty pretty, too. For it being free, like Kale said, there is a heavy market for it. Do I think it's the way of the future? Yeah and no. Yes on the PCs, absolutely not on the consoles. And we're going to get to this topic here in a minute with the consoles. But if the consoles aren't going to be around forever, then what else is it going to be? It's going to be PC. And there's going to be such a large crowd. A good chunk of them are going to do free-to-play, and there is good money in it. League of Legends, I mean, they hosted one of the biggest pool tournaments of all time. It's just, you don't get that from just, being lucky. I mean, that's that market. Now, I'm not saying every game is going to be successful as a free-to-play, and there are a lot of flops, I imagine. There are a lot of, things that last like a few weeks, and I'm thinking I'm never going to touch this or I'm never going to see it again. But there's a heavy market, and I think it's the way of the future. As for a AAA title, it all depends on our definition of AAA. I could see, I mean, and let's all, I think we'll all agree with me. I could see a AAA Call of Duty going free to play, and then basically making me charge to prestige to unlock the next level of my gun, to unlock some attachments, to unlock you. I mean, I'm sure you guys get where I'm going.
I get what you're going with that.
People will buy it. I guarantee it.
And I don't know why, because that just sounds so bad to me.
I'm not saying that there has to be a reason,
I believe you. I believe people will buy it, but I don't understand why.
No.
Because Call of Duty is the best game ever made.
It doesn't matter, but I mean, still.
No, yeah, right?
Like, if Halo Gears could charge me to unlock, like, Baird, and us to be like, fuck you. I would not.
I'm thinking, when it comes to that, now here's an interesting transaction thing with Ghost Recon that they do, and you guys will tell me what you think. Basically, okay, how they're saying with microtransactions, you can do points. And basically, you can either buy these points or you earn them in game just from playing. So, if you're lazy and you don't want to wait till you level up to buy this gun, you can just be like, yeah, I'm going to just pay for the points to buy it. And then we can go ahead and, you're able to do it that way. And like, you pay every time you run out of grenades, you can use a little bit of points to get some, or you can just use money. It's all up to what you want to do. I'm not sure what you guys think about that, but that's kind of where I'm leaning towards. It's not a bad system. It is kind of a pain, though.
Seems pretty dirty in a sense to mine. Like, what's gonna stop them from, okay, we'll use that grenades thing. That's what I'm thinking of in like years. What if you have 7 E-holes pop up and they only give you 2 grenades?
You better aim steady.
Well, no, you can't. Well, 7, I could see that as an abusable system by some shadier games. I know, like, a lot more better rep ones won't do that, but it does seem like a quick cash grab to capitalize on.
Absolutely.
I don't want to say desperate people, but irresponsible maybe comes to mind.
That free to play is kind of, you guys don't think it's the way of the future, but you agree that there's a market for it.
Yeah.
Are we all?
Yeah, like I said, the market's like casual Facebook gamers.
Right. Okay. I can see that. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get to this last topic. And this is one that Kale brought to my attention. There was an article, I can't remember where, off the top of my head, but there was a report saying that these might be the last consoles of all time, the 720, PS4, and the Wii U. Now, I'm wondering, we're all primarily console gamers, except I believe Michael here. What do we Kale, I'll let you go first. What do you think?
I would kill myself.
All right, emo kid.
I would cry myself to death because I love my console. But I don't see that happening. I don't see it happen at all. The people that are saying that are the same people that are saying mobile is going to kill consoles. It's the people in the other market that are trying to compete with consoles that keep saying that stuff. For instance, cable companies are going to start streaming games. Like Cox, Time Warner, I know, that's who I have, and I laugh every time I turn my TV on. Like Time Warner, Comcast, they're all actually this year, they're trying to do it this year, they're trying to push out a beta for like cloud service gaming right off the TV. I don't really know what kind of games they're going to come out with because I don't know how they're going to get the licenses. I don't know, like maybe it'll be like like Blockbuster Online. Yeah, like they'll partner with GameFly or something, and you'll be able to play like right off your TV. But I know that's starting, and they're like saying, "Oh, this is the way of the future. This is going to kill consoles." Oh no, it's not, because not everybody has cable. I mean, I don't know anybody who really has cable except like my grandparents and people who have had it their whole lives. Nowadays, people don't have cable. People have Netflix. People have DVD players now connect to Hulu, Vudu,
basic
all that
cable.
Shit. Yeah, basic cable.
I mean, we don't have mega awesome packages because we're poor kids.
Yeah, plus, every network on their website plays their most recent episodes anyway. Plus when you got things like Hulu that stream right off of the Xbox or, your DVD or Blu-ray players now, you watch current seasons of stuff. People don't, and you get all that stuff cheaper. I can get Hulu and Netflix and Xbox Live, for that matter, cheaper than my monthly bill for cable.
Very good point.
And then if they start throwing like games and stuff on there, then people are going to have to start paying extra for that. Kind of like when Xbox revamped, Live and started putting the Netflix and like ESPN and all that stuff on there. They, rose the price to like $5-10.
Yep, I remember that actually. That was a big deal.
I was kind of pissed. But, but now I don't mind, because now I use all of that. At the time, I wasn't a Netflix subscriber. I wasn't a Hulu subscriber. But
we were just out of high school, I think.
Yeah. I think it was sooner than that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
I graduated 6 years ago. But anyway.
Thanks.
Oh, I know. We're old. You got a kid. God, we're old. Anyway. I lost my train of thought. Anyway, point being, I don't think consoles are going anywhere. Especially with cable, especially with mobile phones. Especially with free to game. I don't think any of these mediums are going to kill consoles.
They haven't yet, so why would they suddenly? I guess
they haven't even really put a dent into it.
No, I wouldn't say. Yeah, I agree.
All
Honestly,
gaming is
that'd be
down.
like saying the 3DS is going to kill the 360.
Yeah.
I mean, good luck with that.
All gaming as an industry is down. Not just console sales, gaming sales are down. And I mean, every person I talk to that's into mobile gaming, they always, I love mobile games. When do you play? Oh, like when I'm like waiting for the bus or,
I'm waiting for a save to download on my 360.
Exactly. Wait for Skyrim load screen or something.
Alright. No, I agree with you. Well, Matt, what do you think?
I sort of in agreement, but look at it in the sense of the here and now, no. But if these were the last consoles, I think there's a lot of potential that would go unused on Nintendo's side, especially. They've always, well, not always, I would say, but the Wii and the Wii U have been pretty, I don't want to say the Wii U's been innovative, but the Wii was definitely pretty different for the time. The Xbox, I think, was pretty different too, in the sense that I saw consoles shift from being pure consoles to more of a PC type.
More of an entertainment device, though.
In a sense, yes.
As opposed to just a console.
Uh-huh. I mean, you could do DVDs and stuff on it, and then we saw that completely take full form with the 360. And Sony, as always, followed suit.
Wait, PS2 did it first.
Yeah, that's true.
Because then when the Xbox One came out, you had to get that little peripheral.
Oh yeah, the remote too.
That little sensor thing and plug it in. So the PlayStation 2 did it first with the.
Yeah, but they didn't.
The
They
Dreamcast.
didn't make. The Dreamcast. Well, they didn't have. You couldn't play DVDs on your Dreamcast, I think.
Did you?
Well, basically, what I think I'm getting at, what I think what Matt's getting at, is nothing took form as a central device for entertainment like the 360. The 360 was the first one that you basically just kind of looked at and said, you know what, this is the one I want to do everything.
Right.
Because it can. I mean, the PS2 couldn't. It could only play DVDs and do some music. Sure, it had online, but it was all individually run. There was no infrastructure. There was no single infrastructure, I mean. The PS3, yeah, it has single infrastructure, and that's fine, but it's never been, and it's getting better, honestly, but it's never been on the level of
But like I
Xbox
said,
Live.
it goes back to free to play is you get what you pay for, in the sense. I mean,
Very
you haven't
much so.
seen the PlayStation Network take over as the head or the head of the class, and well, the class of two, I suppose. You haven't seen that emerge as the dominant, the gold standard.
Yeah,
as
and
opposed to other stuff.
I just had that argument today with a coworker. I go in and I get what started it is I bought the 3D Avengers. Oh, you got a PS3? She says. I'm like, no. and then that's when we started talking about. Well, I prefer the PS3 because I don't have to pay for online. Yeah, well, I would gladly pay $60 a year to pay on Xbox and play for free on PSN. You get what you pay for. And she just kind of like sat there and thought about it for a minute, and she's like, okay. But
that's a good point. Now, Michael, you haven't really chimed in a whole lot. What do you think if the next console you buy is the last one that ever comes out? How do you feel about that? You're primarily a PC gamer anyway.
Yeah, but I still do like my consoles. I actually don't see the consoles dying out anytime soon. I see them dying out maybe like 100 years from now or something.
Virtual reality.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, what I personally feel about this is, it would be a sad day. But at the same time, it would just go back to how things kind of were for a few years for a lot of people. I mean, let's be honest, consoles were not always the big let's get together and do things. It was always PC. Let's LAN, that's where it came from. LANing, was on the PC. So, while it would suck, I think we would all just adapt.
Oh,
That's
undoubtedly.
what makes the human race so amazing is, we're going to adapt. And like us as gamers, we're just going to be like, this blows. I'm going to buy a computer.
Are you talking like a total vacuum, like consoles were just gone? Or are we talking about something that would replace them, like...
I know, I think if consoles go away, there's not going to be anything to replace them but the PC.
Well,
or the Mac.
I think there would be like a boycott for like a month or two until we all just
I
say,
don't even
fuck.
see that though.
I think we'd all be pissed.
If it goes out in our
let's be-
generation, then maybe. But
But-
if it comes down to it, well, I mean, you gotta look at this. I mean, I think they said the PS3 is supposed to have like a 10-year shelf life or something like that.
Yeah, well, 10 years, the Vita's gonna have a 10-year shelf life, hypothetically. Right. That's what they just said today, or 2 days ago. Now, here's what...
You gotta imagine that we're pushing our physical limits on processors and stuff, today. That the next-gen consoles are probably going to last for quite some time, except for maybe the Wii U. They might, be able to cheapen that up and package it and put some new kind of fun time control scheme in there.
Right. Super fun time motion control.
Exactly. But I mean, by that point, you have to wonder if technology would be so evolved that it wouldn't just be our own like game room virtual type thing. And then at that point, we wouldn't even care that the consoles were gone because this would be so much better.
Okay, see, here's what I'm thinking is another big idea. Like, if consoles all die out, I think, this goes back to the topic that we were talking about earlier, exclusives. There won't be exclusives anymore. It'll all be on the PC. I mean, seriously, how long, if you're Nintendo and your console is dead, how long do you wait before you're like, fuck it, I'm putting Mario out. I can't just leave it sit. That is a multi-million-dollar franchise that we're seriously not going to release anything of.
About as long as it took Sega to figure it out.
Yup, I mean, they're going to be like, yeah, I don't think so. That's coming out. And Microsoft first. Microsoft would be the first ones to transfer.
They're like, all right, fuck you guys, we're just going to go back to our PC then, ha ha ha.
No, I mean, and then we're going to have Halo 5, 6, and 7, and 8, 9, 28, and 16, 15 million on the, on the PC. I think exclusives would go away, so I could almost see how it would be beneficial, but the only difficulty about that is the PC technology is obsolete after like 2 months. Something amazing comes out, like 2 months later. I mean, that's a big over-exaggeration. It's actually more like 6 months to a year. But realistically, I shouldn't have to buy a PC and then be like, yeah, I think this will be good for about 6 months, and then I'm going to have to go drop $1,500 on a new one. Like, I mean, obviously you can just upgrade internals and whatnot, but I think in a way it would almost be better, but at the same time, there's just so many memories that since we grew up with consoles, we're all biased in that form. I mean, now you can imagine, we all remember when we didn't have cell phones in school. We were poor, and they were giant. But now, 4-year-olds have iPhones.
I know, it's ridiculous. I walk around the mall and see like little 10, 12-year-old kids busting out iPhones. Like, I'm like, what the fuck?
iPads.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, see, so to them, that's just the gold standard. That's just how it is. There is no before. And to us, our consoles are our gold standard, so we're kind of stuck in that form, I think. Now, hopefully, that's not necessarily I mean, I really hope consoles don't die out. I'll be honest. I love just sitting there when we're all on 360 and we're all just gaming. Those kind of memories, I hope to duplicate on the 720 and, for quite a while, as long as I play games.
Alright, you want to know what I think is going to happen, though? Alright, and this is the part where Matt is just going to tear me a new asshole, but at the next generation, not PS4 or 720, but PS5, and then whatever number Xbox multiplies.
900?
Yeah, sure. 900. I think that Nintendo is gone. I think the Wii U is going to not do very good, and it's just going to completely flop, and after they lost what they took with the Wii, they can't cope with the loss with the Wii U, so I think that Nintendo is going to focus...
Fusion Hop.
I think Nintendo is going to focus completely on handheld.
No, I agree with that.
Oh my...
Really?
What?
Oh my God.
What?
No.
Wow.
I don't think Nintendo's gonna go out, but I do agree that if the Wii U did go out, that they would just focus on handhelds.
I think they're gonna.
That's where their money is at right now.
Right. And then
But
I think those consoles. I'm sorry.
I don't see Nintendo going out on Wii U.
No, I don't.
I mean, I don't see it doing as well as the Wii because I don't think there's as much hype as the Wii had. But I think you underestimate Nintendo's creativity. I think they'll have something completely different after the Wii U.
I think
if there's something, what we call it, the Wii V.
I think
we are.
Well, I think that the Nintendo is showing that they're out of creativity. I mean, they had the Wii, and then they had the Wii U that looks just like the Wii. It looks so much like the Wii that they are still trying to convince people that this is a whole new console and not a just like an add-on to the Wii or something like that. But I see. Alright, so I just went over that with Nintendo. Now with the PS5 and the Xbox 4, I see them being more like PCs, like upgradable video cards and stuff like that, upgradable memory. I mean, that's how I see it.
I won't disagree with that. Why not? I mean, you can make an argument for that.
I don't know how cause that'd be hard to imagine right now, but I could see it maybe.
You see people changing their hard drives on the. I mean, you already see people doing memory.
Yeah, maybe.
Why?
Oh, I knew memory, but I'm talking like
difference for
graphics
a video
cards.
card.
I don't know.
All you got to do it. You pay a little. It all depends. I guess. Okay.
Well, I'm thinking of it.
It all depends on how well these sell. The PS4 and the 720, depending on the 900 and the PS5. We'll see. It depends on how well. If they just absolutely excel, why not? Maybe they'll dump the extra money into it. Or you can make the argument that, well, since it didn't sell all that well, they'll just figure, you know what? We're going to have to give it our all here. Let's do upgradable. It's the way I like to look at consoles right now. It's like laptops.
It would definitely be Microsoft exclusive upgrades, though.
Oh yeah. They would definitely be first party only, and that would be killer on your wallet.
Yep.
Absolutely killer. Okay, so real quick. We're about out of time here, so I just want to get a last word from you guys. Okay, Kale.
Yeah.
What do you, when it comes to the consoles dying, is this a good or a bad thing? If it indeed happens.
Bad.
Okay. I agree. Michael, what do you think? Good or bad?
I certainly wouldn't like it.
That's
let's
close.
just go with bad.
And Matthew.
Bad for the memories, but the replacement technology is probably going to be better.
And I'm going to say absolutely bad for the memories as well, and we're just going to leave it at that, because you can stretch good or bad. I definitely want to thank all of you for joining us and for all of the views that we had last week. We hope that you'll enjoy this one just as much. Next week, we're going to be talking a little bit about controllers, how the various controllers for every console, and you better bet we're talking about the 64's terrible, terrible controller, as well as one of my favorites, the Dreamcast.
I like the 64
and we'll have,
controller.
Did you have 3 hands?
Yep. So we'll be talking about that, maybe talking about the keyboard and mouse scheme. We're also coming up on the Halo 4 release date. It's about 40 days away from now, so it's not too far from here. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about the Halo 4 and how more information just trickles out about that, and maybe it'll give Matt a reason to yell at somebody.
Yeah.
And we'll see what we can come up with from
people
there.
Yell back at me.
So definitely want to thank you all for joining us. Please follow us on Twitter and share this with your friends, and please comment. Thank you guys very much.